Okay. Hello, good evening from Malaysia. If there's anybody from outside of Malaysia, good morning or good afternoon from wherever you are tonight. I would like, before our subject today is the secret of successful people, 8 habits you need to implement the evening before. But before I go into details, I would like to check with you on the following, because I would like to make clear that whatever I say here, whatever I share is based on experiences and is meant for people who want to improve their lifestyle, but not for people who have health conditions. If you have health conditions and you want to, some of my examples, you would like to implement them, please check with your health practitioner whether that is appropriate for you or not. Okay, thank you very much. Just wanted to make sure on that. Now, I would like to share a little bit about my story, how I came to habit coaching. First of all, the question often comes like, what does a habit strategist and coach actually do? What in the world is she doing? Now let's break it down. Sorry, I'll go back one step. Let's break it down. A habit strategist and coach is someone who builds strategies, as we understand correctly, and who coaches people. So of course, I'm a coach. I'm not a trainer. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a consultant. But why in the world is she building good habits to develop, healthier lifestyles through a coaching methodology? Now, let me tell you a little bit about my background. So that will put a little bit more sense to it. I have a daughter, and my daughter is 17 now, and about 7 years ago, when she was 10 years old, and this is the picture I'm referring to, she was what you call discovered as a wakeboarder, as a talented wakeboarder. So till then, she was like, it was leisure. She would be riding once a week and easygoing. But then suddenly she moved from once a week to 3 times a week at the age of 10. And from 3 times a week, we then moved on to 5 days a week training, Monday to Friday, full time. So the whole week. And at that age, that is very intensive. Even for an adult, it's very intensive. But for a young girl, it is very intensive. And as I said, it was very important for me then to check on her well-being, because a child is in a growth stage at that age, an intensive growth stage. And for me, I realized that we were actually eating quite healthy, but I thought I didn't feel it was sufficient. So I decided to look into more details about health and about nutrition in particular. And I went on Google, but when you go on Google and you read the information, I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but this one says that and the other one says that. And if you have no basic or fundamental knowledge, you're kind of lost, because which one is right? Which one fits me, right? So I was like, what am I going to do? I need to improve nutrition, but I have no clue what is the right thing to do. So that's when I decided to dig deeper and to sign up at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition in the US. And I started a course as an integrative nutrition health coach. And it was an amazing journey, because I learned so much and it was so interesting. And I realized that there was so much we could do with food. But as it was an integrative nutrition health coaching, so not only about nutrition, I also learned a lot about coaching, and it was not only your well-being does not only depend on your food, it depends on sleep, it's about stress reduction, etc., etc. And it was just an eye-opener for me. And after 6 months, I decided I'm not going to do that only for my daughter and myself, which was my original idea, just, for us to have a healthier lifestyle. I said to myself, I have to share this. I need to, people need to know about that. So I decided to make a profession out of it. So out of knowledge just for my daughter and myself, I decided to make it public and really work as a health coach. So when I graduated as an integrative nutrition health coach, my first client was a lady who was originally from India, living here in Malaysia, single mother with a young girl. And she suffered of hypothyroidism. So that many of you may know already that when you have health issues with food, you can heal a lot, not perfectly. You can't do everything with food only, or in some cases not, or in many cases not, but you can contribute a lot to a better well-being, right? And you can provide, basics for treatment, and people can support treatment or take treatment much easier if they have the right nutrition. So I decided to help her with the hypothyroidism, of course. And the interesting thing was, she was willing to give up a lot of things with food and change a lot of things, but her breakfast, there was no way to touch it. She said, no, she wants her breakfast. So she's not going to change her breakfast. And what she had for breakfast was really not good for her overall, for her hypothyroidism issues, right? So I really tried to talk to her, and I was a newbie, right? It was my first client. And then I realized it was not about the food so much as in food, as about the taste. It was more about the emotions that were associated to the food. She was alone here with her daughter, away from home. And this food was kind of her attachment to her family, attachment to her culture, attachment to home, attachment to memories, attachment to the beginning of the day. So many emotional things that were compacted in this breakfast that for her, of course, it was very difficult to give that up. So I was thinking, like, how am I going to do that? And that's when I unconsciously, because back then I was not really aware of habits, I started doing small little tweaks with her on her food. Here, we tweaked something here. At the same time, we worked on her sleep because she had sleep issues. So when you do habit changing, you tweak a little bit, then you let it settle, right? So that it becomes, you adapt to it, and then you tweak it again a little bit, then you adapt to it again. So you kind of work in intervals for the person, as soon as you change something, to have time to adapt to it before you go to the next level, right? So that's what I did. I did that with her nutrition, with her breakfast in particular, because the rest was relatively easy. And at the same time, I was working with her on the sleep. So while we were working on the nutrition, we let the sleep settle, and then we twisted around, and I worked on her sleep, and we let the nutrition settle, etc. So we accomplished quite a lot in the 4 months, and she completely changed her breakfast. She completely changed her breakfast, and it was without a struggle. It was without any problems. And that's when I realized it's the habits. It just hit me then. And I was like, my God, it was so easy. It was so easy to change things just because we took our time. And it was also very easy because we did it in small steps, and we did it we had enough time, and we created little additions. And, the whole concept of changing the habits was without major cravings. So that's when I realized, okay, that's what I want to do. I'm going to work with habits, because with habits, you can achieve anything. If you change your habits, if you create habits, if you modify them, you can conquer the world. So that's when I decided to do what I'm doing nowadays, and to become a habit coach. And that is my dream and my purpose and my passion. So what I would like to know from you now is, how many of us are here? Let me have a check. Oh, hello, Jay. Hello, everybody. So what I would like to find out from you is, who amongst you is either already successful or considers himself or herself in the making of. Type in me if you feel that you're either there or that you're on your way there. No me's?
Angela.
Making of do what, Angela?
Type in if you feel that you are a successful person or that you feel that you are on your way to get there. If you feel like you're there or getting there to be a successful person, then type in me. Okay, Andrea, great. Okay, Jai, yes. Okay, cool. Okay, we have already 2 people. Perfect. Now, I would like to welcome you to a list of people who are practicing habits in the morning that improve their success, that they believed improved their success. So you're in absolutely excellent company. We have Laura van der Ramp, who is the author of, that's interesting, what the most successful people do before breakfast. And the funny thing is she wrote a book about what they do before breakfast, but she's an adamant advocate of the habits of the evening before. So she realized that both together is the perfect combo. Then we have Buffer CEO Joel Cascogne, Jane Austen, she's the author of Pride and Prejudice, Bill Gates, Arianna Huffington, former CEO of American Express, Kenneth Chenault, Oprah Winfrey, and Facebook CEO Sheryl Sandberg. Those are people who in the upcoming
Angela, you're frozen.
I think she knows.
Yes, guys, sorry for this. So we are at discussing different things. Annie, Gladys, Grace, Jay, and Charm. Very nice to have you here. Let's see whether she can come back.
Yes.
Until then, Jay, you would like to ask a few questions
Related to this topic?
Yeah, you like the topic habits. What are your thoughts about it?
Yes, I do love the topic habits. My thoughts on this is what has always been said by so many Greek philosophers from ancient times. A habit is what you continuously do, right? Now, the thing is, if you do something wrong continuously, it becomes a bad habit. But if you do something nice and good, it's a good habit. Right. So one of the things I do practice every day is to see what can I do to kickstart my day. You may be aware, Andrea, that I do get on my exercise bike even before I have my breakfast for at least 45 minutes every morning. And there are days when I would have been a little late, 10 minutes, but I add that 10 minutes to the ending. So I still stretch it to that 45 minutes. Right. So I think that's what habits are. And it was not easy in the beginning. It takes time, but you slowly develop it to continuously do it until it gets hardwired in your brain and it becomes really easy. You start enjoying it. One more thing I want to share with all of you is when you do something that is challenging, but you do it with a smile, you find actually you start to enjoy it and you will do it because your brain tells itself, this man is a happy man.
I love this one. I love this one. I think I smile first, but then it comes. But I think it's for some people it's always different. Charm, do you have some habit or anything that is helping you through life?
It's a bad habit. It's an example of a bad habit. Okay.
Oh, Perse is Hungarian. Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite of Jay. While he's actively cycling, I am reading. I'm not moving my body at all. So, he comes back to the room, like sweaty and all that. I'm saying, oh, okay. I'm just looking up from my book. Okay, nice. You did good exercise. Yeah. And my habit is just to actually what I have to work on is my mindset. And, as it's to actually shift it when it's kind of wanting to spiral downwards because of what's happening around. And I'm just training myself. Okay, you can have your pity party for 10 seconds or 20 seconds.
I like the expression pity party.
Yeah, it's okay, maybe even a few minutes, then maybe eat some chocolate or eat some, it's like read some book that doesn't add value, but actually entertain, or maybe it's adding value by entertaining you, and just be in that for a while, but not get too much in that, to come out of that as soon as possible. So I'm trying to I've been doing that for the past few years, develop that as a habit, starting with the mind.
Andrea, if I may, anyone else would like to share something about that? Anybody
Yeah.
else?
I will just ask whether Grace and Annie would like to. You don't have to put on your videos, but with the audio, if you would like to join into the discussion about good and bad habits, Gladys, Annie, or Grace. Annie, do you have some good or bad habits?
Hi.
Hi, Gladys.
Yeah.
Yes, hi.
Please, Annie first and then Gladys. Okay.
All right. Okay. I'm just started with I'm in the midst of making it. So I started about a month ago, and then I try to challenge myself, and this is really related to me as I started with exercising and having breakfast to make it as a habit. I mean, that's the starting point I start with right now. Yeah.
Thank
So-
you. Thank you very much for sharing. Gladys, what are your good or bad habits?
I joined in this session because I wanted to see what this topic is all about. I think it's very interesting, the 8 habits that we do the evening before, right? Because I normally start my day in the mornings by going for a walk around the park, because I think it's important to, to energize ourselves a bit to start off the day. Yeah, so that's what I normally do. But I'm just trying to see, and I know some people, they do things like meditation, go into prayers and things like that. So I was trying to see what tactics I could do the evening before. Maybe I'm missing something. So that's why I came onto this session. But then I noticed Angela's computer is crashed. So
yeah, so she's
there
still
are
trying
potential-
to get back. So we are talking about habits until she comes back. So Jay, would you like to add also something
I just
else
wanted to
about
ask you a
habits?
question. I just wanted to ask you a question, Andrea. Have you heard of Sean Stevenson?
Sean Stevenson, not really. No.
Okay. Well, you can look him up later. Now, he had a very interesting concept where he said to get to do things and take action and get into a good habit, you must get off your butt. Okay. Now, that sounds very, you'll think, what? What did he say? Get off your butt. Then he says that butt is B-U-T, not the double T. What do you mean by that? He says, don't get in the habit of saying, but I don't have the energy, but I'm not in the mood, but what if I fail? But get out of all those buts and you'll start forming good habits.
I love that. I love that. We did an exercise with our entrepreneurship group, and they couldn't say but, however, for a
Get
while.
off your butts. Get off your butts and move.
So Angela is here. Let's see whether we can continue. Hi, Angela. Welcome back. Let's see.
Murphy's Law, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but that's technicalities.
No
happen.
problem. Next time, just join in with your phone. It will be okay. We just continue.
Yeah, but then I don't have the slides, so that's
Never mind. We have 4 weeks. We can even repeat your session until you fix your computer.
Uh-oh.
Oops.
So Grace is saying in the meantime that spiritual growth by listening good talks at the same time doing an exercise. Very nice, Grace. Thank you very much. So we heard a little bit from Annie. We heard a little bit from Gladys that she's really curious about what Angela has to say. Let's see whether...
Andrea, you didn't share yours.
My habits, I have a lot. I'm kind of like a habit person. I'm coming from a dancing background, and I'm kind of like having, very rigorous things in my life. Having my oatmeal in the morning, going to to dance or doing some movements through the day, drinking a lot of water. Also, I made a habit to read before going to sleep. It makes me really calm. And I love listening to music. Every time when I have something, when it's stressful or anything, then I just listen to music. I move.
My kind of person, Andrea. I love listening to music.
Yeah, those are the things that are helping me in my habits. And I
I'm gonna
like
ask
to
you about your
prepare.
bad habits later. I think Angela is back. I know.
Yes, Angela, let's do it with your phone. We'll be okay, no problem. Here they are, just so curious about what are those habits. You said you will say all the 8 habits, and everyone is waiting for it, so I cannot let it go. Let me pin you, spotlight you, so that the people can hear you. Okay, just unmute.
Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Okay, I also don't have a proper stand here, so I'll hold it by my hand. Sorry about that, Murphy's Law. So the first one is that they spend quality time with their family. Quality time with their family, because it is very important that you are in a safe environment, that you're connected to people who care about you, who understand you, who listen to you, who are always there for you, and who make sure that everything is okay for you. So when you are with your family, you have a very intensive connection, and being with your family automatically also reduces your stress levels and gives you a peaceful being together. And it is one of the essential things that successful people do. They put time aside to be with those they care about and those who care about them. That is one of my top priorities in regards to my life, in regards to habits and how to have a better lifestyle. And that is something I do every evening. My daughter and we have half an hour, 45 minutes that we really spend together. And that is very important for people. If you don't have family around you, then find friends that you're very comfortable with, talk to them and spend time together. The second thing is, if you can connect, in addition to spending time together, if you can connect, spending some time exercising together, that's perfect. So here, usually I have a slide with kids swinging. So what is important is that it is very good to exercise in the evening after you had dinner, but exercising in the evening doesn't mean that you go on a big run or that you do any heavy exercises or anything. It is doing exercise that is really soothing and calming. For example, swinging for kids is perfect. You don't want them to run around, you don't want them to scream around and get all hyped up, etc. Because how to get them to bed afterwards, right? For them to have a good night. But what is essential is, if you have, for example, if you take them to the playground and you put them on a swing, it is something that is smoothing, it's calming. It's also calming for you as you push your kids, etc. It's a very calming, and it's still exercise because you walk there and you walk back. Exercising is not always about sweating. It is very often just about moving. So that is number 2 of the 8 habits. Number 1, as I said, is spending time together. Number 2 is if you can add some exercise to it, it's perfect. Take your dog along, your horse, your bird, your crocodile, whatever, and spend time together and do some light exercise. The third, very quite unusual or not very often seen in the list of habits, is eating not too late. Successful people usually don't eat late at night, but they eat relatively early. Reason being is, when you eat late at night, your metabolism is still working. So when you go to bed, your body is in relaxed mode. So you are getting ready in your mind that you want to go to bed. You make your room darker, etc. And you set everything, you set the air conditioner or the fan. You put everything into sleeping mode. But your body has not finished its work. So that means even though you are in sleeping, you're ready to switch off, your body is still working on digesting. So that means there's a discrepancy between what is happening down here and what is happening up here. Your body is not giving up. Your body cannot stop functioning unless it has kind of like cleared the plates. So your body will still be working. So your conscious mind is saying, I'm going to bed. Your subconscious mind gets the signals. I still need to put the vitamins into the pockets and the minerals into their pockets. I need to put the carbs into that pocket, etc. Nothing is really clear down here. I can't, this machine cannot stop. So that is why it is very important to eat early. And that is why it's also very good to exercise, to have light exercise after your dinner, in order to let your to encourage your metabolism to work a little bit better, to work faster, and to be able to go early to bed. What happens often to people who eat late, they also go to bed late because, you know, it's because when you're eating, what are you eating? You may be eating rice. Rice is carbs, carbs is sugar, sugar is hyper. So if you have to have a snack late at night, take something light. Now, what is light? Everybody is different. There are certain things that I can recommend. For example, friends of mine, my friend loves potato in the evening. If I eat potato in the evening, I'll be up all night because I digest potatoes very difficultly. So there is no golden 100% rule. Some people swear on a yogurt, others say, no, I can't because they're lactose intolerant or have issues with dairy. So each one of you, find out when you eat something, find out how you feel afterwards. And those are the foods that you can eat and that would be suitable for you. The next one, I would have now a slide with a book in a bed, but the slide is not there. So imagine, close your eyes, you see a book on a bed, and guess what people do who are successful, like Bill Gates, they read. They read every evening. They read in bed. And I would say, if you read in bed, I would really recommend that you take a paper book and not a ebook or a Kindle. Reason being, we're talking about that is one of the other habits. It's about having gadgets. It's about the light that goes into your eyes. You don't shut down because you always have this permanent light going into your face, into your eyes. So your subconscious mind is not ready to shut down because it's still getting brightness into the face. If you read a paper book, it is much more relaxing. Of course, you may argue now, yeah, but what about the environment? And I'm right behind you because I am a big defender of the environment. And I would also say, yes, better to have ebooks. But when it comes to the evening, I'm of the opposite opinion. So what I do nowadays is I order paper book, hard copy books for the evening and other books for daytime. The books that I want to read in the evening, I always take paper books because it's just more relaxing. And it is, there's a research at the University of Sussex that proved, and I can contact me if you would like to have the information. 6 minutes of reading reduces the stress by 68%, can reduce the stress already by 68% on certain people. So it is amazing. And the self-made millionaire, Steve Siebold, interviewed 1,200 successful people to find out what are the things that they have in common. And guess one thing most of them had in common? They all read books about, or most of them read books about self-development or autobiographies and things like that, which is at the same time, it's an investment in yourself because you learn. And on the other hand, you relax. I found the perfect solution, I think, and that's maybe something that you might find interesting. For nighttime, I order audiobooks now. I'm not an audio person, not at all, actually. I've never been an audio person, but I have discovered that reading audiobooks is the perfect solution for me. I can listen to them and I can, you can go back if there's something, oops, I didn't get that one, go back, 10 seconds, etc. And I realized that this is the best solution for me. In bedtime, I have nothing to hold. I have nothing to look at. I can just listen, and I really still absorb the information, but I'm in a very relaxed state. So maybe that would be something that would be interesting for you too. The next one is they plan and they prep their day. And when I say plan and prep the day, I mean something like the diary. They plan the next day. They don't always plan like, they don't always put a list of 20 things you have to do, the 20 things to-do list together. Actually, the former CEO of American Express, what's his name again? Kenneth Chenault, he puts only 3 things on his list, 3 things that he really has to accomplish that day. I do 5 things a day, which I call the hashtag 5 before 5. It's 5 things you have to do before 5 p.m. So you don't write down your major, how do you call it, your major presentation or a big meeting. You don't have to put on your to-do list because you know it. It's there, right? I mean, you're prepared for it. It preoccupies you most probably also. But what you can do is you put, for example, things that you procrastinate with. It's a very useful way to get rid of procrastination, is to list down those things that you actually kind of like push away. Yeah, like for example, let's say your income tax declaration forms, you know, or get the papers together. It's something you push. It has to be done, but it's every day you kind of like push it away. And if you put those things on your 5 before 5 list, that you are quite sure that you can accomplish them. And if you can't, you have to put them on the list the next day. I have actually a group on LinkedIn, which is hashtag 5 before 5, where we share our 5 things we have to do today. And in the evening at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, we check and we postpone to the next day what we couldn't do. Sometimes there are things you can't do because you then depend on third parties. Of course, then they're still on your plate, but you are not the one who delays them anymore, because you are really putting them on the plate unless they can be swiped off because they have been completed. Another thing is in regards to, some people take it even to the point that they plan their clothes, they prepare their clothes, which I find very interesting because it's true, right? Imagine if you have, tomorrow you have a big presentation and the evening before you go to bed, yeah, tomorrow I'll wear this, that, okay, fine. And then you wake up in the morning and you go, darn, where is that blue tie? I need that blue tie. Where is that blue tie? Your whole morning is jumbo mumbo because of that blue tie that you really need, and you set your mind on it and it's not there. And where is it? And you're like, no, the red one. You know how it is. We get stubborn and our mindset is set on something and it's not there, and we feel like, oh, the whole day is rotten, and you just have a bad start. Same thing like, you know, oh, where are my yellow earrings? They fit to that dress. Where are the yellow earrings? I had them last Friday. So in order to avoid things like that, they even prepare the clothes in the evening before. That's how far you can go. It has nothing to be childish, nothing to do with you being childish. It's just making sure that you have a stressless morning. Another important matter is meditation. Normally I would interact with you more, but I have lost so much time, sorry, with my computer crashing, that I have to skip that a little bit in order to give you the 8 habits. Meditation. Okay, meditation has a stigma. People were talking about like, yeah, meditation, blah, blah, blah. It's breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. But meditation is very individual. There are, and it's clear meditation is, there's different versions of meditation. There is the mindfulness meditation, the spiritual meditation, mantra meditation. There are many, many different kinds of meditation. And I'm not a specialist because I have difficulties with this kind of meditation. I have a completely different kind of meditation I'll share with you. But if you want to meditate, ask someone who knows how to meditate, someone who does yoga, for example, and ask them how to start off. They can guide you and they can give you tips how you can start your meditation journey. It has been proved that meditation is absolutely beneficial. There was a Harvard study in 2019. They looked at 19,000 people who had practiced meditation, and the result was just amazing, because it clearly stated that meditation reduces anxiety and depression. So there is something about it. My kind of meditation is, I can't do the hum thing. It doesn't work with me. I go to the SPCA every morning. I take care of 10 puppies. I clean them, I cuddle them, I give them loads of abundance of love, and I get 10,000 times more back from them. And I come back and I feel completely energized, unplugged. My mind is ready to go and do whatever I need to accomplish. So I think every one of us can find their own way of meditation, of energizing, of reducing stress and getting rid of any anxieties and depressions, whatever we may struggle with. So that's why I think it is very important to look into meditation. Oprah Winfrey, for example, is a very strong advocate of meditation. Anybody here who meditates?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, okay, cool,
Yeah.
excellent. And you feel good after that? You feel the difference?
Yeah, I feel calmer and more grounded.
Okay, see,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. It definitely has its benefits, but we all have to find out.
Yeah, Angela, I would like to add to what you
However,
said about meditation being different for different people. Yours was the 10 puppies. I love that example. For me, sometimes it's just listening to some relaxing music, as
Yeah.
in like a Gregorian chant or something, you know? And
Yeah.
I find that just listening to that, I sometimes even tend to sing along with them, but I find it calms me down. I'm just feeling,
Absolutely.
and it
That's why
distracts,
there is no.
and
Yeah.
it distracts me from thinking about anything else.
And that is what meditation is about, is going inside and, unplugging, center yourself, focus, etc. So that's why everybody has their own solution. And I think it's very important that we discover what is our own meditation. But I believe it would be very good if we could meditate, if we could learn it, but we have our own ways. There is no right, this is the only way how meditation works. So, but the outcome is, as you say, it's extraordinary. My slide number 11 was a phone in my kitchen drawer. Why? Because it's about unplugging from gadgets. Many people have bad, it goes back to sleep. Many people sleep uncomfortably because their gadgets are all around them. They still have the notification on, like we talked earlier about my ex-client. They still have the beep beep and things are going on. It doesn't stop, and it is absolutely restricting them from smoothly going through the different stages of sleep. So it is very important for us to unplug and to get rid of our gadgets. And if we can't do it, if we can't have them just next on our table, because automatically we look to them, then we have to maybe get up and put them into a drawer. Why? Because the moment we have to get up to go there, we realize, oh, shoot, I'm doing a bad habit here. Maybe I should, no, back in bed. I'm not doing it. So, it's kind of to remind us, if you want to break a bad habit, what you do is you make it difficult and uncomfortable to achieve. So that reminds you, as soon as you get out of the bed, you're like, I'm doing what I'm not supposed to do. Okay, let's go back to bed. Let's not do it. But if you have the phone right there, quickly, it doesn't matter. The next one doesn't matter. And so the whole night goes through. Okay, so that is a very important part of habits to improve your lifestyle, because your sleep is absolutely essential. Otherwise, you wake up in a moody condition. You're not comfortable. Whoever you cross, you're not happy with. Things will go wrong. You can't focus. It's just a bad start into a day. And if you put your gadgets away and you just concentrate on sleeping properly, you will see how much better your next day goes. And then you have a perfect morning routine. So the perfect evening routine combined with the morning routine, you have the perfect start into every new day. Now, the last one is the gratitude. They practice gratefulness. And I have a gratitude jar as well as a gratitude book. Does anybody know, is someone not clear about a gratitude jar? Let me know. Let's not type because with the phone it's complicated. Just speak up, we're a small group.
Yes, I don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is? Okay, it is a jar and you put little papers, you write little papers and you write what you're grateful for and you fold them and you put them into the jar, like a cookie jar, right? So you put all your, some people like to have journals, other people don't want to have, books, etc. They feel like, I just want to do 2, 3. So what they do is that's what we call a gratitude jar. You put an old coffee jar or something like that, and you put your papers in there. And maybe one day you want to read them. Other people burn them because they say, it's done, it's perfect, I'm grateful for it. And what you write down is everything you're grateful for, everything you're grateful for. You're grateful for what at the moment? We're grateful to have a roof over our head. We're grateful that we still have work. We're grateful to have a job. We are grateful that our family has been protected by COVID. If not, we're grateful that most of them have been protected from COVID. We have so many things we can be grateful for every day. We have pets, we're grateful that they're there. We're grateful that our car takes us from A to B without breaking down and that we have a car. There are so many things we can be grateful for. And when we're grateful, it comes back in abundance. So gratefulness is one of the main things. Instead of looking what we don't have, just smile at everything we have because we are freaking rich. If we look at what we have, we are so rich and we are extremely rich, especially in comparison to others. We are absolutely on the top. So that was it. Those were the 8 habits. So let me, I had such a nice, how do you say, summary. Let me put the summary together for you. Number 1, they spend quality time with their loved ones and families. Number 2, they add in some exercise, especially in the quality time. If you can combine it, it's the perfect solution. It's like the cherry on the cake. They avoid late meals as they know it will affect their sleep. They read, they plan and prep for the next day. They meditate, they switch off their phone or unplug their gadgets, and they practice gratefulness. Those are the 8 main habits that successful people, the people I mentioned earlier, are practicing, and that apparently, as the study showed, apparently those are part of the things that those people have in common, that we who are already successful or are just before getting there on our journey should implement every day. So my last thing, because I don't have my slides here, but one thing I would like to do with you is I have a little task for you guys. I would like you to pick one of the eight habits and take that habit and start tonight. If tonight is too tight for you, because it should never be stressful, right? Starting a habit never starts with stress, never starts with pressure. It starts with encouragement. So the first habit, I would like you to pick one habit off the list today. Which one was the most enticing for you? Tell me, each one of you quickly, tell me which one is the most enticing for you.
Gratitude jar for me.
Okay, so what I would like you to do is I would like you to get a jar. I would like you to get small strips of paper, like, Post-its, the small thin Post-its, and you write every day, you write 3 things you're grateful for and fold them into the jar and fill the jar and show how grateful you are. And when the jar is full, it's up to you. Some people burn them because they say it's fine, it's done. Other people just, dispose of them. other people keep them. So every day I would like you to write 3 to start that one off. 3 things that you're grateful for on little papers and start your own jar.
Okay, we'll start tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Then the next thing is each one of you to pick one that you find the most enticing, interesting, challenging, whatever it is, but there's a call, right? When we choose something, there's a call, there's an attraction, there's a magnet. So I would like you to take that magnet and start it off today or tomorrow. In 2 to 3 weeks, when you feel that you have already settled down with that one, that it's working well, it's kind of a habit, it becomes automatic, you kind of don't have to think about it anymore, I would like you to choose the second one. Okay? The second most enticing. And then after a while, the third one. Slowly, slowly, slowly build up those 8 habits, unless you practice certain already. Build those up that you're not practicing yet. And every time, don't choose 3 at a time. That is too demanding. Habits is about establishment and making it become a routine, make it become automatic, so it's effortless, right? Once you feel that number 1 is effortless, you can start number 2. Once you feel number 1 and number 2 are effortless, you start number 3. If you feel like you're not sure, don't start it. Wait, because otherwise you're overwhelming yourself and you will let go everything. And then we start off from scratch. And if you have challenges, if there's anything that you have challenges with the habits, feel free to call me, feel free to buzz me. I have I'm on LinkedIn. That's maybe the easiest, which is Angela Eimer. If you type Angela Eimer, you will find me on LinkedIn. Send me a message and tell me to contact you, and I'm happy to contact you and help you to spin it off and to kick it off.
Super.
Okay.
Super.